Welcome to another Fireball Friday night. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before we get to that, we've got to get our Fireball going. So I just got back from dinner, have not had any Fireball since, well, last night. So we're just going to get put just a little bit in there. Just a little bit of Fireball. So what do we want to talk about? Brew Tank already messaged me. Well, he posted a comment. What's up, Frank? About he's got a tournament tomorrow. We're going fishing tomorrow, by the way. Charles has his boat ready, and he's building some baits for big bass. We're going big bass hunting, but we're actually just going to try to catch some bass, period. So, hello, Michael. Follow me for more Fireball recipes. It's pretty much just you put it in your favorite soft drink, or you just shoot it straight. So I got quite a bit to talk about as far as what I've been doing, testing that may still come out okay or not worth the darn. So I've been getting a lot of you guys talking about these JDM baits. Charlie, got to try these JDM baits. You got to try this version of a Chatterbait. You got to try this. You got to try that. And I'm like, dude, they're 20, 25 bucks a pop. I'm done trying baits, I think. So we did pick up, if you guys remember right, not a Chatterbait, but the swim jig, right? PD choppers. We've got several of them around. Still working on that. I got to figure out what I want to run on this guy. If I want to make it look like a bluegill with the swim bait type deal, or I may put a craw on there, something like this kind of craw. I haven't decided yet, but that guy's still in the running with all the other ones that are up there. But I've got something that, so what we're going to try tomorrow, we're finally going to get around the wood and where there are fish, and there are fish in the wood, 100%. So I'm going to be trying let's talk about the ones that I just picked up. I made this one. If you guys remember right, it does chatter. The 1/4 ounce works way better than 3/8 or 1/2 ounce, whatever the other bigger ones I got are. But I think I'm going to end up switching that. I'm going to try it real quick like that, but I think I'm going to hurry up and put a swim bait on it. More than likely, just one of those, probably this exact dude right here. And just throw that around that wood and almost try to get it hung up. Just throw it around, see if it gets bit or can come through without getting hung up. Try a few different trailers. Going to try that for sure. Then we've got a couple different versions of the cross eyes from Z-Man. I got one I just put a different skirt on and a different trailer, but we're going to try that just to see if they get hung up or not. And there's the craw, the Last Tech one. I added a few whiskers. Got the idea of that from Charles and his little live target square bill. And I just subtly took away, you probably can't tell on camera, I toned down the highlighted crazy red just a little bit. I may do more. I've got another bait I just haven't rigged up yet that I took most of it off. I just I wanted to leave like a little bit, because by the time I put a skirt on it and then a trailer, you'll just have, it's a very muted color. I just haven't finished that. I don't know if I mess with it tonight or not. Get it out tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. Then, if you guys remember right, one of the last live streams, watch out, I got to keep this Last Tech from touching other stuff. Last night we broke out. We finally got the true Strike King black and blue gold blade from their gold blade series, and we've thrown, we'll start out with that. And we got this dude. We're not sure what we're going to throw on him. So we've got our three, I think that's all I got right now. We've got the three different Thunder Crickets that will be going and trying those along with all of our other, you guys know, the original jackhammers. We've got the Z-Man Originals. We've got the Evo Mini Maxes, the Mini Max. We don't have any baby jacks. I almost ordered some of those, but I didn't. So then basically all those, the Nobies going up against the Jackie Hammers, that kind of stuff. And then the trailers we've been trying on the, from the little, well, I guess I'll show you with these, because then we're going to talk about these in a minute. From the little swim-ons to the Komodos, we're going to be trying some of that stuff tomorrow. And if you remember right, I told you guys I had that pink bait that, and these are the Rumblade or whatever, Keitech knockoffs. It's not a true Keitech, but I have the one. These are still on AliExpress. They were $250 and they were one of the last things to go up, but they're like $350 now. But if this thing actually, if I ever get on to where I feel it is worth buying more of, $350 is not a bad price. It's an overall solid little bait. You could always change your skirts around. But I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. It kind of has a muted swim. I mean, it's definitely not a chattery like a chatterbait, but it does shake stuff up. I just got to get out where there's actually fish and see if they bite this as well as spinner baits, chatterbaits, that kind of stuff, or if I don't like them at all. But it's black and blue now. I like it. I like the color. So we're kind of also going to be putting up some of our black and blue, our different chatterbaits in the black and blues. We've got several now of the different brands or whatever. So we'll just get them all out there and start fishing. But here, the latest little craze that I did. So I just briefly swam this like for 5 minutes. Well, maybe not even 5 minutes, just 2 or 3 casts one day. So this is sort of my version of the Bebble or the Chibeeble because it's a very little one. I just stuck a chatterbait blade on the front, and it does give a little bit of a chatter. It's nothing great. So I am going to make sure to throw this tomorrow along with when I'm throwing those weedless Z-Man baits. I'm going to be throwing these weedless, I guess they're a knockoff of the Super Brake Blade from Jackal. They're still on AliExpress, but they were $6. Now they're like $11. I'm not buying any more until I just get out and fish these and see what I think of them. See how they get around wood and if they get bit or not before I buy any more. They seem made pretty good. Definitely a lighter hook than almost, I think they got a lighter hook than any of my other, from the Mini-Max up chatterbaits. These are as small as like some of the little, very little micros or whatever. But they should be good enough. So I'm going to be trying those. But then some of you guys were talking about the bass, is it the bass puzzle grass piece or something? Anyway, I looked up pictures of it and I'm like, well, I could make one of those. So that's what I did. I don't know if that'll work, but I made 3 of them. So when I was making it, I thought, well, it needs some kind of weight. So I got the idea from, if you guys remember right before, the Thunder Cricket Strike King, and they still make them maybe. They got that little blade. Or this is also like what is on the back of your, Hellraisers. So I had a little weight to the bottom, and I went ahead and left the spinner on the front just to see what it'll do. Now, I can always pop that weight off if I need to, but I thought I needed some way to hold it like that. So I just kind of copied what they did, the bin they have on the grass piece. I'm just going to try it. May not work, but I made one of those in that just because I'd originally lost the... I remember if I lost the blade, or I think I lost the blade, or the ball bearing went out on one of those $2.50 SV3 knockoffs. So we got that one rigged up. And then since I was just jacking around, I rigged up a little bitty version of one, which is basically another one of these. I just don't fish these hardly at all anymore. They're the little Pond Magic or whatever from, I believe, is it Booyah or Berkeley? I can't remember. I think it's Booyah. But I just kind of utilize those just to testing, just see what it'll do kind of deal. And then I also rigged up, if you remember, I bought a bunch of these. They're dollar baits. So I rigged up this one. Instead of putting a chunk of lead, squeezing it on the bottom, I actually put a different, I kind of got the idea from the, I forget the name of it, but it's kind of like the Rumblade, that guy that's making them out of his house. And what I may do with this one also, because I probably should do that. Where's my other thing? I got one. I got a spare one around here somewhere. Maybe no, that's too big. I might take this guy off and rig up a little spinner because that guy's baits are like that. So anyway, we're going to do a little more testing because I'm going to hurry up and get out here and get these tests in, and then I'm going to be done testing. I'm going to start breaking down. I'm going to start weeding out how much tackle I take with me. Then I'm going to start weeding down how many rods and reels I take out fishing. I've only been fishing truly 2 fishing trips so far, and that sucks because we're already into May. May 2nd, I have not gotten out. I've done some cast testing from the bank here and there, but nowhere really around where there's a bunch of fish. So we're going to get out Yeah, the redneck puzzle. But I don't know if these will work or not. I've been debating about trying something like that. It wasn't the grass piece I'd seen. It was there's actually something on Tackle Warehouse. If you guys have seen there's several ways to do this. I've seen they actually have a dual blade one. I've seen one with the blade like this. I've seen some people that have like a chatterbait type style, then with also a blade back here. I mean, they've configured a bladed jig in multiple different ways, but since some of you guys are talking about how the grass piece, the newest one that I've seen actually is like a weedless jig, and then it has the chatterbait, and I think it's a little shorter down here, and I could always change this one up. I just rigged them up. I said I'm gonna go out and throw them tomorrow and just see what they do. This one, I think I may. I was hoping I'd have enough room for that to completely clear, so that may be a cluster. Probably will be, but we're going to see what it'll do. I can always rebend that, pull all that stuff off if it starts to vibrate at all or what it does. I honestly don't see how this could be better than a chatterbait, but we'll see what the fish think. It may just be because it's something totally different. But so far, nothing's impressed me on any of these oddball stuff. I'm still impressed by a chatterbait, direct connect to the head, whether it be the Thunder Crickets, the Z-Man Originals, the Mini Maxes, the Evo Mini Max, the Jackhammers, the Nobies, the Jackie Hammers. Like, those are still my favorite period of all those, even the little flashback minnow kind of things, even though they suck on the quality of them, they flake off, but they still, like, they work nonstop, right? And you're going to want to target little fish. If you're around big fish, don't go throwing this around. Not saying you can't get them in, it's going to be a little tougher. So, what else do I want to talk about? That, I pretty much summed it all up. All right, we're done. Go get your fireball. Brew tank, where you at? You're already missing the party. Omnia has buy 4, get 1 free bladed jigs. Which bladed jig you talking about? You talking about the jackhammers? If you are a fan of the baby jack, I think they're still doing it. The hookup tackle has a deal going. If you buy baby jack, you get that slim Zaco or whatever, a pack of your whatever color you're choosing free. So $6.99 value. You got to buy the regular $15.99 baby jack, and then click on that, and then it shows it on there. You know, 0. It's like a buy one get one BOGO deal. And so if you really like, okay, I like the baby jacks, I want to stock up on them, that would be a kind of a way to get. And if you like the Zaco things or whatever, I don't know. I just watching them in underwater footage. I don't think they move enough for me. I just don't. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't get hit. Just like we ran, people and still do run Keitech right on the back and still swear by them that they get bit and catch fish. But if you watch some of the underwater footage and just how they let the bait jump around, I'm a firm believer in. Still to this day is probably the baby Rage Menace, then would be probably the Rage Menace, then would be the Swim On, and it may change to the Swim On, but then it would be something like that, which this could be probably fall right with the Zaco, whatever, or most all those others. It's just kind of a profile. It gets back there and wiggles a little, but it doesn't do a lot. It's all about the action you put in the bait. These don't do that. And most of these other ones don't have the ability to, when you kind of twitch and give it a quick jerk and pause it, it jumps. Sort of, it gives you that reaction strike, just like what a jerk bait does. There's a trick to it, and you got to figure out if they want in the 3/8, running at a depth. If maybe it's a half ounce don't jump quite around as much. You can even get a little bit out of like the big blades and the 5/8 and the 3/4 ounces, but the true ones are really, in my opinion, the 3/8 is where the magic's at. You just gotta, maybe throw it out, let it sink down, then start reeling it slow, and then start doop, 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 jerking and jiving right where you think they're at. That's it, in my opinion. So, The what was I going to talk about? The baby jack. I've heard, now you go to Tackle Warehouse and look, like people, it's getting negative reviews so far. And I watch Mikey Balls talking about it, and then I've seen a couple other people. So I have not even seen one in person, but according to what I've seen, these other ones, and I'm going to just show you that. So the Nobi bait, the little Nobies is probably a little bit bigger hook, but just as stout as the Baby Jacks, or not the Baby Jacks, as the Evo Mini Max or the Mini Max. Now it's a longer bait, but you can literally, if you guys can see how little this is a little 1/4 ounce, not even a 3/8. But you can take these little Nobies, the little 3/8 ones, and you can trim that skirt where it's just past that hook, and you can get a pretty small profile. Maybe not quite as small as you can go with these little dudes, but if you're going, in all honesty, if you're going a 3/8 ounce, this is a 1/4. If you're going 3/8 ounce, and these may be just as good. So I'm going to do that. I haven't done it yet. I just waiting. I'm probably going to put our little Neo up against the 3/8 in the Evo Mini Max, the 3/8 in the Baby Jack when I finally get one, and then in the Mini Max. I've already got two 3/8 Mini Maxes, so I could start doing that. I don't know if I get that far tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff to do. I don't know how far we'll get tomorrow. They may not even be hitting on none of that stuff. Maybe see me throwing this jerk bait the whole friggin' time. This thing just catches them right at the moment. Last few trips I've been out anyway. Walking the banks. So what I'm hearing now, Mikey Balls claims that, I don't even know if that's how you say his name, YouTube channel, that it doesn't skip as well. And he swears by this thing's being able to skip real good, the Evos, Mini Max, and the Mini Max, but I don't see how the Baby Jack would be any worse than that. But then some people are saying that the hook, it's a little bigger, but it's a little thinner. And then you guys can go to Tackle Warehouse and read the reviews yourself, but some people are saying that the startup isn't as crisp, isn't as good, or whatever. So I'm going to probably get one. I'm probably going to wait till they come back in stock at Tackle Warehouse, more than likely. I mean, I don't know. I really don't want to spend that much money, but I figured I might as well just get one, probably the bluegill, and then get 3/8 ounce in that bluegill, 3/8 ounce in this, and I've already got 3/8 in the other Neo and the regular Mini Max. Right? Can't have too many bluegill. So just fair warning if you guys have been waiting on or thinking about the Baby Jacks. And I want to hear also if you guys have for sure tried the tungsten chatterbaits and what your take on them is. Do you like them better? Not as good? Because I'm not buying any. I'm just curious of what you guys that have tried them, because I think when you get too small of a head, that maybe it could be a downside to that. Because I like these, they're a little more subtle and for the jumping around, but I think there's also a time when you want that normal sized head, which is like on the 1/2 ounce, whether it be the 1/2 ounce Thunder Cricket, the 1/2 ounce, I don't know about this guy yet. I still feel this guy is heavier, and I think it's because they call it a 1/2 ounce, but they don't take into account the weight of these. This just feels like a heavier beast when you're out there throwing it around compared to any of my other 1/2 ounce jackhammers or Z-Man originals or the AliExpress knockoffs. I think it even feels heavier than the big blade, because I got the big blade. That's a 1/2 ounce, and that's supposed to be a 1/2 ounce, but maybe, I don't know. It just feels heavy. So anyway, any questions so far? I got a question. Any bladed jig they sell, I believe. Huh. Michael, so which grass piece are you running? You're talking about the newer one that's got the weed guard also? Because I think the original grass piece were just like this. They didn't have a actual weed guard like a normal jig kind of thing. I'm anxious to just see what these will do. Like they should actually come through. So like these are actually a little better than what I guess a normal chatterbait would be. I don't know, but dude, most of these baits, other than a spinnerbait, just kind of sucker anywhere around wood. I'm just going to throw these around, not really around wood. These are going in the thick of it. These are going right to the nasty stuff, and so are these guys. I don't know if any of them will get hit. And I'm thinking about rigging this guy up. It's more of just a green pumpkin-y color, and then putting something on him. And then I'm not sure if I want to leave those like that, or I'll probably spread them just a little bit. I want to have it to where if it crosses, yeah, so I may go ahead and rig that guy up. I got to get all these put back up and get ready. I'm going to meet Charles. It's still chilly. Like right now, I think it's 50 something outside. Here in the Midwest, I think it's going to be 63 tomorrow, 63 to 65, but it's not going to get up into the like 52 or 3 until like 10 a.m. So we're going to get like a midday, 9 or 10 a.m., get on the water, and then try to get the evening bite. And I know some of you will argue with this and go back and forth, but I'm still a believer in the afternoon bite is better when you're dealing with cooler water. When you're dealing with, or it's when the water is the hottest it's going to be, that's the best time window, in my opinion. Then when you're dealing with hot water, it's when it's the coolest it's going to be, which is the morning bite. And that's just, I don't know, I always feel like that. Now, I'm not saying that as soon as that sun starts going down on the hottest nights, like sometimes that's the best time to kick in with the top water. I mean, they go insane. But usually that morning bite is also right there too, kind of thing, to where I just feel that that colder water is always like it's a slow start for me anyway, to where some hot weather days, like it's going to be 100 degrees, you get out as soon as you feel like starting casting, like it's game on until sun pops all the way out, and then you can still catch them, but I feel then you got to like slow down, and then you got to fish shaded areas, and they're just not as out and active as they were in the morning. But anyway, and I'm just now looked at another one I kind of rigged up yesterday. So I took that is about one of the biggest trailer leg kicking thing you can put on, and I put it on our little bitty jig. If you guys remember right, we got the little same jig, but like whole different types of trailer. So we've got the little TRD craws here, and then we've got the Rage craw on the other one. So I'm going to I got to keep them separated because the last tech or not. We'll be trying those out too. A few other jigs in there going to be trying. It's going to be a lot of throwing different stuff, and then I'm going to start weeding down the stuff, because as of right now, if I usually just save for when I'm going BFS fishing. So that you got your minis now, a bunch of options in minis, but then the micro, there's really only one. It's like 4 or 5 colors. They come with little skirts, but I find that it's better to just take the skirt off and run you some kind of a swim bait or something on the back. Tends to be like a finessey way to catch them with and still considered, and it's a chatterbait. Kind of see that hook, like the micro here, is about, it's maybe a little, no, it's very close. It's probably a little bit smaller, but it's about the same kind of deal. So you can still catch these with like 14 pound. Now 10, 12, 14 would be max. 17, I still will throw it on whatever I have, because I kind of have my drag set to where it probably won't straighten that out. But you get to fishing on 12, 14 pound tests and hook into a giant with a tight drag, probably going to straighten that hook out. Probably would, maybe possibly this one too. So we're going to go trying all that stuff tomorrow. This guy probably won't, but I'll have him with me. Worst case scenario, I possibly will try him. What else did I want to talk about? And we've got several other small baits in there. There's the actual bluegill. 1/4 ounce. I probably am never buying. I'm not saying never. I'm not buying any more 1/4 ounce or the micros for that matter. These I won't. These are like my. They're not my like main staple type sizes, right? The 1/4 ounce mini max or Evo mini max, or these little micros. They're that, outside the box when you're still wanting to fish chatterbaits, but it's you want to slow way down and get real finessey kind of thing. But so maybe as they, I lose them or whatever. But honestly, if these don't typically kick in and get bit like something like with those, I may not worry about spending that extra, money. Just go with these. Like they're like under $4, I think. So we'll see once we get out there. So far, they have done pretty good in my opinion. So as of right now, like if they go on sale, I'll be watching at the beginning. Just you guys know when the times of the seasons and the times of the year when everything goes on sale. That'd be the time to stock up on the Evo stuff, whether it's the Evo Minimax or the Evo. I probably might buy the Baby Jack bluegill one, but I probably won't buy any more jackhammer stuff. Since the Evo's out there, I think it's pretty good, or the originals, or even if you have to go buy the Nobies that are crazy priced due to Trump's terror, are still like $5, $5.60. So they're still half the cost of the Evo stuff, and they work. Now, I switched the things around, but you can get the regular colors that work just fine. That is their black and blue. I didn't do anything to it. I just cut down the swim on, added it to it. That's the Nobi 3/8 ounce black and blue color. It's got the black blade. Austin Bait. They've got a purpley one, which is right here. Got a bunch of different colors, and for even still yet for $5, I don't need any because I bought one of each color. I doubled and tripled up on a few other colors. So we're good for the whole season for all the different chatterbaits I got. If you guys remember, we counted. I think I have over 140 or 150 chatterbaits of various ones. So I don't need that buy 4 get 1 free deal that they got going on. I don't need it. Yeah, the Booyah bladed jig. Yeah, and honestly, I think I've got footage of me fishing that and catching a big, like a 5-pound bass with it. Yeah, so what Michael's talking about, Booyah had their version of the chatterbait, and that's what I was wanting. This was years ago. And like he's saying that he thinks Z-Man made him stop making it. But Booyah had chatterbait. It wasn't a bladed jig. It was a true chatterbait. It hooked directly to, I believe. It was kind of like what the Picasso is. It had the holes drilled out in it. But then on the on the hook, it was literally a wire. So it came out of the head, and it was like a very thick piece of wire, like what you would like very big. And then it was just like the hook was welded onto it, and so it flexed. And supposedly that was like, so you hooked one, and they couldn't like shake off as easy kind of thing. But I bought a white one, and I'm pretty sure that was right when I started making videos. I may not have that footage, but I may too. I have to go back and look. I can't remember, but I want to say it was like first cast with it. I'm like, let's just try it first cast. I caught like a 5-pounder, and then I don't know if I ever caught another fish with it, and I think I ended up eventually I lost it, I believe is what happened. But yeah, Booyah has made some pretty good stuff over the years too. But yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that chatterbait. And just like you guys have seen, I got the frog. I'm going to break him out probably tomorrow too. I'll probably make my own little short video of him. Where did I put him? So yeah, I got the old school cheddar frog. Brand new in the box, still brand new, has not been fit. You could tell if it had been fished, this paint would probably be flaking off. I know part of me is like, why don't we just put it up and wait and just hold on to it? I'm like, no, dude, we're gonna get out and fish it. I gotta fish this, right? I'm not a collector. I fish the stuff and then we go on from there. So we had a hit the other day. You're gonna see a little short video probably tomorrow from testing, and we did get a hit on this crazy funky I still can't remember the name of that. Let me go look at the name of it. But I rigged that up. I kind of just finagled that. I cut it down to where I thought that was good for it to fit on there. And it does have a pretty good setup. You get the right length, hides the hook, and it's got a good swim. Had a good thump, but just didn't set the hook to it, so I cut it down quite a bit. What are those called? So I might end up liking these. I don't know. I'm going to take them. I'll probably cut one down, rig it up on, maybe rig one up on a Chatterbait. Who knows? I got that, the Judge 5.9. That's what those are. So I bought the Ghost Ice Minnow in the Judge, and then Green Pumpkin Juice, right? Because we like the juice. Speaking of juice, hang on a second. I need a little juice. But you can tell how much I cut it down. So yeah, I cut, hang on. Come on. So yeah, I cut quite a bit off of it just to get to fit that hook. I wanted to fit that underspin I had. But so far, I like the way that thing that tail, just the way it swims. Because, you know, you can go look at the footage. Just Google. Just search on YouTube. It says 6/0 or 7/0 wide gap hook, but that's, I want to say that's lucky to be a 4/0. I don't know if that's 4 for 4/0 or 1/4 ounce. I'm not sure what that 4 is. But that little hook, once I cut it down, because it's got a big, you know, pretty big gap right here cut out. So it drops pretty much. So that should be close. And I thought about just putting a mini, like, little kind of a skirt thing on that, leaving it rigged up like that. But go search the Judge 6 cents, and you'll see a couple different YouTube videos of this thing, just the way it swims through the water. It's weird how it's got like this crazy hooktail worm, but then they also put like the Rage type deal on it. So it just gets back there, and it doesn't look bad. It was just one, you know, first time using it, and we're going to use it more once we get down around actual fish. We'll be using it tomorrow briefly. I'll probably, like I said, rig it up on a couple different things. And what else do we got to do? There's so many stuff that I'm going to have to get to a point where I basically get up there and I'm going to pull every jig out that I've got in the day box and, you know, okay, what do I need to throw kind of thing. So without further ado, I got to remember to bring all my stuff too. What else? I was going to talk about something else. We talked about the baby jacks getting a bad rap so far. I talked about, well, we kind of re-glue some of our plastics, and I plan on doing more of that. I plan on not worrying about putting them on and ripping them off, because I'm going to start saving them. I got my little wood burner out to just glue them back together to be able to use them again. I still have not, these are knockoffs from AliExpress, but I cannot, the times I get out and fish those, I can't make myself like these. I just feel like the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver, just so many other, the Riot Baits Fuzzy, Little Fuzzies are, for me, get hit better than these guys. Now, I probably need to get out and play with them a little more, and I've been debating about buying from, is it Core Tackle? That one, oh shoot, the one at Ozark rig or something to try on some of these, or just rigging them up wacky style, trying free rigs, because just the way I use and fish, these do not impress me like hardly at all. And then I tried whatever that knockoff is. That thing so far didn't impress me one bit. Because I'll be honest, other than the fact they just wear out quick, there's a bait that impressed me the first time I started using it. That Keitech Crazy Flapper. Those things are just like, they're going to catch fish. The bigger ones, the little ones, they just flat out, it's flapping, undulate. It's doing its thing. So I may start buying more of those now that I'm like, I could just save them, just glue them, just use them, just wear them into the ground like we do rug burn, right? And also Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver. I may jump back into that along with, because I'm trying to like the Strike King stuff, and it's the same way. Where it goes off quick, whether it be the Rage Menace, the Rage Crawl, like they're just, even Greg Hackney talks about it. Every time I watch a Strike King video, they show a clip of the boat, like 20 baits just laying there, all the same color. Just you tell, like, catch a fish or two, new bait, fish or two, new bait, fish or two, new bait. You go through a couple packs, it's like the pros won't tell you that. They won't tell you, oh, save those, and then you can just heat them up with your little heat gun. And, you know, they stick right back there. You don't even need mend it if you've got a wood burning thing like what I got. In case those of you that haven't seen this yet, you just get that little wood burner, that Weller you can pick up pretty cheap anywhere. And that little thing right there, man, it's pretty easy just to slide it. Oh, shoot. I was going to say, let me find, what are you doing out? Oh, I had you out earlier. So wherever you got a hole, this one I think you can already see where I sealed it up. You literally just slide it in, pull it out, and hold it together, and it comes, it's like right back. So even if you don't need to, but say if the back tears out, and you can do this on the mag drafts, you can do it any plastic, like even the Z-Man does stick back to itself kind of thing. You just get melty and pushed back together. But like if you're where your hook were to go, if that gets split out, you know, you just, now this one doesn't need it because it's not that big. But say if this whole thing was ripped out, you just open that up, run it in, maybe run it if it's, you know, all the way. Just give it a quick, pretty quick swipe, and then just do that, and it'll just mend it right back together. So I've done a lot of different baits, almost all of them. A bunch of different baits that I'd had just laying around. I guess we could look at a few. So if you guys remember right, this is the only good, if every one of these crawdad colors from the Strike King, the Baby Rage Menace came with that tail like that, I would be buying them. But a lot of times they just come solid black. But this was a perfect example. I had on one of these jigs in there. And the reason I just left it was because it was so, had a big tear here, and it was so torn. I'm like, I'll just leave it on that thing, because once I take it off and over the barb, it's probably going to be destroyed. And I'm like, you know what? It's a perfect one to use to reattach, and we did that. And then, of course, there's a lot of these that I had on different ones, so I'm trying to find, like, I can't even find where the holes were. Like, they're fixed. They're just like brand new again. I mean, they are, literally. I'm not, like, it's not a joke. Let me see. Okay, that one. Okay, so this guy, that's still, if you look, there is a hole there, but it's not ripped out, so I didn't mess with it. But if you look right here, so it had ripped. If you can make it out, it had ripped from there to there. It had this huge rip, and it just didn't want to stay on right. Like, it wanted to lay down. And so I could have flipped it over, which I still will at some point. You can always just flip them over. But I had taken it off and whatever. But once I did that, like, it's good. It's good again. It's brand new. It's brand new. And yeah, don't worry. A little bit of dirt and crud stuff, that makes it look like crappie. So there's just things you can do. Oh, this dude was one. I'd cut this down just to have a trailer on the back. I believe it was the big blade. And these things are not real great, the plastic, and I'd rip the whole thing out and I just free glued it. Like, it's good. So I'm just telling you, that's an option. If you guys don't, if you're just go through plastic and you're like, man, I'm tired of going through plastic, right? Save them, get you a little wood burner, and you don't even really need that. You could go with a, just honestly a piece of metal, and if you've got like an electric stove or something turned on, have that, you know, sitting there. The tip of an old nasty knife blade or a pair of scissors, you know, the thin ones, you know, not like all metal, something with that wouldn't get heat build up to you. But just heat that up, you know, even over an open flame. You know, you wouldn't want to set with like a lighter. You go through so many lighters trying to do it, but just get that hot, you know, have it setting somewhere where it's already hot. pull it off. You can use a regular soldering gun too, the ones that where you know you like either squeeze the trigger and they get hot fairly quick. You just have to be careful. Some of those get so hot you'll melt through your entire, you know, what you're trying to do. So, oh yeah, this guy also fixed too. So this one, I'm like, well, I just wanted to try it on this, so let me try to show you. So we fixed, if you guys can look, this one is normal. This one was almost ripped all the way off. So I glued that back on just so I could, you know, try it on this way. If it works, we're going to see what happens. But yeah, awesome little deal there. Yeah, mend it. Here's the thing. I knew I had this thing, and I'm like, I just didn't want to hassle like pulling out. And then once I realized how easy it was with that tip, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to make something or whatever. But it's crazy how well this tip, because it's flat and it's pointed, so it just, you know, just the tip, right? You could put just the tip in a little hole, or just slide that whole thing in. You know, if you've got a big gash and it's literally melting both sides, you pull it out and then just kind of give it a little more pressure, and boom, it's just amazing how fast that works. And it comes in the pack. You get I believe I think like Home Depot, Lowe's, I don't know, you get them anywhere. They're just a wood burning kit is what it's called, I think, but it comes in something like this, and you get these little tips. Now I originally got it to stipple my Glock frames. So I originally, and I did, I can't show them to you now because then they would so I made and I got another one floating around somewhere. So I made a few different tips to stipple, you know, just you know, different things to. I got a few. At some point, maybe I'll have to get my GoPro out and make a video. I can't do it live stream; they'll kick the live stream off. You can't have a firearm. But get that originally to stipple. Now I'm using it for this. And because to mend it, I had on the cart, and then it wouldn't let it ship together. You know, it's like, oh, do you want to? I was like, yeah, take it off, because I was going to buy I think I was going to get the full ounce one just to have it to mend, because I was using super glue, and you can, but you can't hook it right back where you had it. So you got one perfectly rigged, and then you try to super glue it back together. It hardens right in those spots. Now you can kind of finagle it back on, and maybe put another drop of super glue. It's just more of a hassle than it's worth. Like out on the water in a pinch, in a hurry, it's still a good idea to have, you know, just some of these little bitty things of super glue, because even with the bait totally ripped or whatever, you could always just, you know, when the bait's pulled down, put a drop of super glue right where you're going to go with it, stick it on, hold it for a second, or dip it in water, and then it'll hold on even if the bait's already kind of worn, kind of deal. So it's a good idea to have a couple of these just cheap. You can get these at Dollar Tree. They're like I think a 2-pack's like $1.25, and there's only like that much in it, but plenty enough to do several little small job things. So yeah, any other questions? No? Yes? Maybe? So if you're wondering, this bait is actually a knockoff. I don't know if they're going to be available on AliExpress, how cheap they're going to be or whatever, but if you wanted to make these yourself, you can still do it. The Queen tackle, you can find these blades. You can get these, or the 6 Sense Divine, or any swim or jig for that matter that's got the hook or the hook tie straight like that, right? Like what they call vertical, not horizontal, not going crossways, not twisted like this. So you can rig it up, and it's a direct connect. The one that comes to mind, I'm thinking about getting one or two. I believe it's either the Dirty Jigs Finesse or the, oh shoot. No, I don't think it's that one. I don't know. I can't remember. There's one I saw. I think I might order a couple of those just to try them, see what the blade will work like. But we're going to try that dude tomorrow along with these others. So I'm curious what this guy, I'm going to rig up a couple different trailers. That guy, I'm going to leave him like he is and just keep trying him until he gets bit, or I'm going to throw it all in the trash. But then this one, I'm probably going to change around a few different trailers to mess with it. But then I'll try out these two guys right here. And then if the grass pieces work at all, I'll try them around or whatever. So anyway, I better get off here, get this stuff wrapped up. I'm going to probably try to get up. I know I'll probably be up at 4:30 because that's what time I normally wake up. I'm trying to sleep in a little bit and get up around 6 or so. And get ready and go meet up with Charles. It's about an hour and a half drive to get to Charles. So if I leave here at 7:30, get there at 9 or 8, get there at 9:30, be on the water by 10, hopefully. All right, guys. So anyway, if you have any questions about any of the stuff you've seen, and I know I probably forgot stuff that I said I was going to talk about and didn't make it to it, but I'm going to get out of here. I'll probably slow down, simmer on my fireball. Make it last until 10. And then go to bed. Oh, did I mention the pink thing? I'm still got a few baits in pink. Not this one. I got this one that I've given up on, but I probably need to take this off right now, just since I'm sitting here looking at it. Just because it's already cut and rigged. I'm probably going to rig it on one of my other pink Chatterbaits. Possibility. Oh, get off of there. I may just rig it on this dude. Just the Zinkers. Maybe get a full Zinkers just rigged up on that PD chopper and see what it does. But I got that. I think I'm going to switch that out. That was just a quick throw something on there just because it does have some purpley pinky thing. But it's overall, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Keep the Zinkers separate. Anxious to try this guy. This is, I believe, Dirty Jigs, and we've got the Largo Shad. 3.5 inch. Not the 3 and not the 4. But I think I may have too big of a head. But we're going to try. It didn't swim too bad. So you're going to see the video if it comes out. And let me get rid of this nasty thing. This one's got a sharp blade that sucks. I was out there casting basically all these baits that are just kind of new to you, new to me. Some of these tails. I even cast this guy. I'm going to have a mess here. These. That's the same one. I did cut these down. Those were originally that other bait, not the Spark Shad, but they're those other brand. But anyway, I got these cut down to try them once I get done with the Gambler ones on some of these little. That's the Mega Bass knockoff. We've got another. So I cast a lot of these around a couple days ago, and you're going to see some of that footage. And then I was trying to do a little BFS versus regular stuff shootout, but guess what? There was only one bait that caught anything, and it was this dude right here that caught him the other day. So I only caught like 2 fish, but I did get some footage of this stuff swimming around. So I just turned it into a video, but it's having a hard time getting through my editor for some reason, making it to back to the computer. So once it makes it, if it may be as early as tomorrow morning, you'll be able to watch that little bit of footage of me kind of swimming these through the water a little, seeing what they did. I don't know. I got to figure out how to make myself like those since I bought 4 of them. I spent $40 on those baits, and so far I wouldn't piss out the front door for them. That's what happens sometimes. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So I got to get all these baits. I don't even know where I'm going to go with all these. Where did these come from anyway? Okay, some of these were just in here. I know, I got it organized. I got Chatterbaits that don't have Z-Man on them right here. Spinnerbaits that don't have Elastec, not Z-Man. I'm going to let's leave these crazy testers out. That dude is going to catch me a fish tomorrow. Guarantee it. My name isn't Orville Redenbacher. Right? You guys remember that commercial? Put this dude, oh boy, get over there. That's going to suck. I'm running out of room. Running out of room, running out of cover. Oh my gosh. Dude, what you got here? You guys go over here. Spinner, you guys are going to go with the spinner baits. You're kind of in a league of your own, so you're going to go with the spinner baits. Till we figure out what to do with you guys. Get back there, Neo. You guys see that hassle I go through? Okay, so we almost have everything. I forget. last thing I need to do is rig this dude up with anything. If you guys can see all that crazy. That's just my day box. I'm taking all my boxes. This is just kind of what I want to get through the first couple hours and testing stuff. I don't know how far we'll get before I just give up and we start grabbing whatever it takes to get bit. Because one thing we're going to do is just get out with regular swim baits on an underspin. So basically, I will try this guy, maybe even one of the more that ghost ice whatever one. But I'm going to rig up some other just swim baits on underspins or on regular. I got some Berkeley underspins in there that aren't weedless. And just see if we can get on a swim bait bite also without all the fancy swim jigs or all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I think I'll just wait. I think this dude, you'll wait for another day. I've already got like 2 of you in there already. So I got to make sure and take these if I case need to tweak on those grass puzzle piece things, whatever in the heck they are. Dude, don't smash nothing. So anyway, guys, I'm ready to go. Oh, I don't know for sure what I want to take with me. I've got 5 rods. 5 rods over there ready to go. I think I want to take 6. But I got this guy, the 802 NRX Plus. Man, I want to take it because it's probably my best, just overall fun and feeling and working for like the a shaky head, just that smaller stuff, whether it be a shaky head with the zinkers or with the whatever. I got the 803 though. I'm taking it for sure, and it will work for that also. But then I still have the Conquest, which is awesome for like little square bills or just a bunch of everything. The 802 Conquest with the stees. But then I've got both my Lures, and this one, man, I'm really finding that I think it may be my favorite jerkbait rod now. I'm gonna have to get it out there and put it up against Brew Tank. Where have you been? Most confident. I'm gonna get my ass kicked in this tournament, dude. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me read everything. Brew Tanks. Today's catch. Where have you been? Yes, not Temu. I'm not on Temu. AliExpress Chatterbaits are the worst buying. I've talked about it, but go on there and look up Noby, Noeby, and then look up just punch in Jackie Hammer, Jackie Hamar, Hammar, I think. But just look around, punch in Chatterbait, and you'll see a bunch of different ones. But the ones that look like a jackhammer are the ones I recommend. If they look like a jackhammer, they work very good. Any of the other ones I cannot vouch for at the moment, kind of thing. But man, this jerkbait rod, so I don't know if I'm going to get out and do any jerkbait offs. Have any I don't know. Never mind. I'm trying to say it wrong. I don't know if I'm going to go do a jerkbait shootout video or not and on the rods, but this rod I'm probably going to at some point put up against the X Pride 610. But I've already come to a conclusion that I've got 3 jerkbait rods that are jerkbait rods. The Elite TI, that's not a jerkbait rod. It's 6'10", medium heavy, same as this is. It's just, I think the tip has a little more give, like right at the very beginning of the tip, so it kind of it doesn't quite work the way I like it to. So I literally have, and I got a brand new one right here because the other one's already wrapped up, ready to go fishing. But so let me show you. This is the cheapest option I have because I gave 100. You can get them for 189 still though, brand new. The jerkbait from KVD Signature Series, and I put it right with these other 2. But I know everybody talks about it, and I had pretty good luck with it. But the X Pride 610 medium, that's also an awesome jerkbait rod. But I don't know that I like it, and I'll talk about why here in a second. I don't think I like it as well as I do the KVD one. It's a little softer, so you think I'd like it better, but I don't know. And then there's also the Poison Adrena 611 medium plus. It's pretty good too. Now they make the Poison Adrena in a 610 medium. It would probably be a little better. But the thing that I think that I don't like about these is on this end. So if you look, they're all, I got them kind of lined up on where the handles are. Is the fact, now I got them extended, a couple of these. But this dude is about an inch, inch and a half shorter handle. And it just, I don't know, between the firmness, how you can grip this during the cast, then when you switch and you still got a good grip and you can just work and do the jerks, and it's kind of a more firm, like boom, boom. Because I do the for sure, the majority of my jerk baits that I fish, I'm popping pretty hard. Now I may pause forever, but I'm boom, you know, I'm hitting it pretty good, and it feels like this rod, it lets me get that, what I feel is a harder hit. It got a boing and it comes back, but it's less. So when I've done it now, I went on a deal and I caught like 13 or so on this one, and I caught that one day I caught a bunch, probably around that, maybe closer to 20 on this one. And I think I had a better time, and it was just easier overall on me catching them on this one because of the shorter handle and a little bit stiffer. So I think I like this rod better for jerk baits. Now this rod, which is lucky because this rod is still my, I like it, the rattle traps is what I really like, the poison drain. I talked about that for the last year and a half now probably. But I haven't had this out actually fishing at all this year. So I need to get back out there with this guy. I should do that tonight, rig this up, put the, just leave the poison adrenaline at home, but I'm bringing the poison adrenaline out. That's still my favorite overall for everything rod, because it can do the jerk baits, it can do the chatterbaits, it can do a jig, it can do the rattle traps. It's an awesome rod. It's still my rod. Like if you still on the picking, those of you that are still following along with what I'm talking about here, I'm gonna talk about Brew Tank in a minute. Hang on, Brew Tank. I'm gonna give you some confidence. The rod that I still recommend the best all around, in my opinion, just because of the price and it just does a lot, is a Poison Adrenaline 611 Medium Plus. Problem is you can't get the 611 Medium Plus in the newer version, the one that's got like the orangish kind of goldish color. So I doubled up. I've got two of them now, this brand new one, and then my other one that I originally bought, paid full price. That one was $250. I believe I may have paid full price for this one. So at some point I need to get this dude out, and I need to try it with the smaller chatterbaits, because I'm also looking at a chatterbait rod option, just for, since a lot of these baits are so much smaller now. So Brew Tank, let's talk about it. Okay. Yeah, Michael's. I'm serious. When I say I'm gonna get out of here, I'm really going to. And then either one, I've read a comment or something pops in my head, because we're already about an hour in. Okay, so hang on. I'm reading what Brew Tank's talking about, because then I'm getting out of here. Okay, I read what Michael said. Mend it. Oh yeah. So today's catch, dude. Today's catch. Listen up. This is today's catch. Listen up. I'll show you real quick if I can get to them. I can't get to them. They're all buried. I recommend go to AliExpress and look up Nobi. I call this little dude Neo just because I do. But they are the most closest direct like copy of a jackhammer, the Nobi baits. They run a little bit lighter than the Jackie Hama knockoff baits, but they look just like a jackhammer. They work very well. There's two things you got to watch with these baits. Somehow in the way they sharpen the hooks, like you either get a good one or you get one, it's still good, but you just gotta watch them. This tip can be rolled up. It's hard to explain, but it seems like once you and sometimes I've just run like just a piece of metal, like something hard as it or harder. It got like a little flashing, I guess, kind of deal on the end. You got to kind of clean off, and then you do have to watch. You get up in rocks or something. It's a little bit softer metal than the jackhammers, but it's really a non-issue once you first look at the bait. Make sure that doesn't have like a flash, like a deal on it. And the only other issue is that front head on the front. that sometimes just isn't pressed in all the way from the factory. I didn't squeeze this one. I actually just worked the blade to get the paint off so it would start up faster. But once you, just give it a little squeeze with a pair of pliers, if it for some reason isn't all the way up, and then there's no more issues. But if you don't watch that, every once in a while you'll just get one that, the guy had one job and was to squeeze that thing together, and they just didn't get it squeezed all the way tight enough. But they're very durable. So for a stress test, I didn't mean to do it, but I did it by accident. One of these exact baits, the 3/8, I was stuck out on some wood with a 20-pound test. And I mean, I was yanking. I yanked so hard that it actually kinked the blade, you know what I mean? It like kinked it around to where you could tell I was pulling that hard. And then it finally, the wood like rolled over and it came off. It was like half a tree limb kind of thing. And the hook was like slightly bent, and I just bent it back, and I ended up losing the bait like within a few days later. But anyway, I think it was fine. It did bend the hook up a little bit, but it didn't totally, bend out. The snap didn't give out. It didn't like straighten up here. So I could not break the line. I was trying as hard as I could to get the 20-pound to break. Finally, the whole limb thing gave and came to me. But awesome little baits, Nobi baits. The only other one that I really recommend are the jackhammer knockoffs. They call Jackie Hamas. That are, if I've got one, oh boy. Hang on. We're going to leave that closed up. So let's just just to show you, I'll show you a little proof that I like them. Now, right now, they're $5 or $6. Between $4.50 and $5.50. At some point, hopefully they get back to being $2.50 and $3, but right now they're still high. So here's the true jackhammer. Here's the Jackie hammers. This is a Nobi. That's a Nobi one because they still tell you the size on them. The Jackie hammers, that's a Nobi too. Yeah, so I bought a couple. You guys, and I just happened to do it. I wasn't even really planning on the fact that they were going to go like crazy high. So I bought basically one of every color, and some colors I doubled up on. But here is a Jackie hammer. So see the difference? Almost the same skirt colors. That's not the same color anyway. But these are basically kind of like a Bee Height Delight, which that's a true jackhammer. Faded out. It's like 5 years old. And this color does fade somewhat, but these are awesome baits. There's the Nobi one, and then here's the Jackie Hammer. It's got a little bit different weed guard, just one on the bottom. These have the dual one like a jackhammer, but I end up crimping the one on top, so I got just the one on the bottom. Lets me switch baits, trailers in and out better. So anyway, yes, get them while they're hot. There's the dude. I don't like, I think I'm going to stick with, like I mentioned before, I like the 3/8 ounce and the Nobis, but I think, and until I really get out and see if they actually, it matters whether the fish, get bit or not as much. That crazy flat 1/2 ounce one, and some of you guys may try them and they may skip they look like they would skip like a flat rock. But I'll try them. I just glancing at them, I kind of prefer the style of the other so like here's one, for example. I think that's a half. Yeah, so there's a 1/2 ounce Nobi and there's a 1/2 ounce Jackie Hammer. You can tell that I think it's got more of the true jackhammer shape. Where the blade goes and how they hit is roughly the same. I don't think, if anything, I think that part is almost identical. So they should have, fish may not be able to tell. So yeah, those are the ones I recommend. Now these also come from there. I don't really recommend them. I just got them to try. That dude came from there. Don't really recommend them. Here is a pink one though of the 3/8 ounce Jackie Hammer. I was buying these at one time. This color, this exact bait right here was $1.50, I think. I was buying them just so I could steal the gold blade and put them on some of the black and blue ones. And then I was ripping the skirts off and then A couple of these somewhere in here are painted. I just repainted over the white and pink. Well, I think one of them I just painted the top a different color and used the white and orange on belly. So anyway, yeah. And then now I just decided to buy another one because of this pink craze, which is sucking right now because I haven't had any luck on it. All right, guys, that is it for sure. I'm telling you right now, I'm out of here. The fireball is kicking in. I'm getting sleepy. Unless I drink real fast, I get sleepy real fast if I drink anything. Most confident. I'm going to get my ass kicked. Okay, rephrase that. I'll look into them. They look good. Brew Tank says wind's going to be 15 to 20 tomorrow. Fishing shallow 2 to 6 foot. Moving bait's going to throw the hell out of a chatterbait and square bill ATV. Okay, listen up. Listen up. 15 to 20 mile an hour winds. Oh boy, you're in for it. Don't be afraid to throw spinner baits either, though. When it's real windy, chatterbaits and spinner baits might do something. And you say you're in 2 to 6 foot. You guys know the deal. If you got a Zinkers around, a shaky head or a Zinkers, I don't know what your water's like, but I will tell you real quick, and I know you've already heard this before, but if I'm dealing with wanting a soft plastic bite, you may also think of a swim bait too, just to try. Just a subtle swim bait. Small, 3-inch or smaller, Keitech style, swammer or whatever, just on a regular jig head, throwing it around a little bit. But when I'm looking for a bite, either a TRD, and if the clearer the water, the more natural the color, or if I'm going with the shaky head, hot pink or morning dawn, morning wood, whatever, or a green pumpkin, or black and blue. And then on a Zinkers, sprayed grass or purple haze or a green pumpkin. Probably not black and blue. I find I like the purple haze or the green pumpkin or the sprayed grass probably, and purple haze are my two, like bam bam. One or the other is always going to get hit. And you can rig it up just with the bare, like when you start with the brand new one, if you've got Zinkers or any stick bait, then do it like that. Just a Texas style setup, weightless with a 3 to 5/0. Depends on how crazy you want to go. 3/0 is probably your best bet. You could probably go down to 2/0, but throw that baby out, subtle, or throw it on a shaky head and get it down and then wiggle it. Or one thing I had mentioned, I hadn't mentioned that I wanted to try as I get out of here, because I'm getting out of here, Michael. I'm telling you, getting out of here. I do want to give the whole a shot, and I can't think of the name of what I'm talking about now. But you know what I'm talking about. Instead of throwing a wacky style or instead of throwing a shaky head, I hook it wacky almost in the middle, and then I put the weight on the nose of it so I can drag it around. Because what you can do is in kind of not necessarily snag situations, but where you're more likely to be a rocky bottom, you're less likely to get that. So like if you do snag, like say if I'm fishing with the Lastech and I do snag the head, which where the weight's at, I can probably pop that right out way easier than I could with my 16th ounce. It kind of gets in there and I'm pretty much done. I'm probably going to break it off unless I want to circle all the way around, get on the other side of it kind of thing. So I can't think of the name of that stupid way they guys fish. Oh my God. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's escaping me right now. I just heard him talking about it again today on a video, and I'm like, I've never rigged one up that way. I don't even know if I got the stuff to rig it up. I'm sure I do. All I need is like a nail weight or and then a wacky hook, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Somebody help me out. What am I talking about? And when you guys say it, I'll know. I'll be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because my favorite way to fish is right here. Not my favorite way to fish. My favorite way to catch them when I'm like, oh God, there's just no way. everything that moves, they won't hit on. I'm going to throw something down, let it soak. This is probably my favorite thing just because. Now this dude, I probably need to switch out. But you can throw that. And just like it is now, it will kind of undulate down somewhat. But then when it hits the bottom, I'll let it settle a bit, but then I'll pop it. And when you pop this, even with the 16th ounce, it kind of works like a, soft jerk shad type thing, like jerk bait. Like it literally will just, and it'll jump and do different things. And you experiment with a few different colors. But with the shaky head, I feel like you can just throw a normal shaky head out. You don't get that much action like the way this will kind of swim, like it stays in like a missile form and jumps around, to where shaky head just kind of and doesn't move right, in my opinion. So if you've got whether it be the Ocho Cinco, the Cinco, the General, the whatever different names of these, I'd rig one up either if you've got a shaky head or just a Texas style, weightless Texas style on a 3, 4, whatever, pick your poison, whatever hook you want to deal with, and throw that baby around. And when it hits bottom, throw it out and then let it, flutter down, but then kind of twitch it a few times, let it settle again, and then reel it back, and then, do that again. If you're on a spot, like there's got to be fish over here. I'm seeing them, whether it's on the thing or you just know, it's like there's got to be fish right there. And then always throw the jig, brew tank. You know that. If you've got the jig, throw the jig. One thing to keep in mind, I'm not sure exactly what your water temps are. We think everything's all fired up and we're going to be fired up, but sometimes, especially if a cold front came through, a little front, like they could be slowed down. So if you're fishing a jerk bait, you're trying to jerk bait, you can start fast, give it like a second or two and then jerk, twice, second or two, jerk once. But if that's not working, you're like, man, I don't know, this jerk bait, slow it down. Wait 2, 3, 4, 5, then a couple hard jerks. But usually this kind of weather, even if there's a front, like you still want to start jerking hard. Like it's not that cold water situation where you're just going to kind of be more subtle and long pauses. You just may want to slow down a little bit of the morning, or it could be the sun's highest in the thing. You may want to just go a little bit slower if they're in a funk. But yeah, I just change it up. I might go fast, slow down, go fast, go bright, go dull, try, just meander around, try different things until then just, like everybody talks about, wait till you just get a bite here or there, and then figure out, oh, okay, what do they like the best kind of thing. And I'm on the mindset, well, you guys know me. I start out with what I want to fish first. I try to feed them what I want them to eat, but then I'll go to what they want to eat. But then I usually am using my confidence style baits. Once I'm done with all the testing kind of crap, I will go out with what was working either the time before or what colors I have faith in, what I, like and feel I get good bites with, whether it be this, the shaky head like I just showed you with the zinkers. It could be a certain swim bait that size, like I showed you, a little Keitech, that's like a 3-inch, or I think that's like a 3 or 3.3 on the little micro. Or, I may start with the bigger chatterbait and then go down to that, or I may start with just the swim bait period, or a swim. I haven't really thrown swim jigs too much. I'm trying to make myself like those now. But anyway, all right, guys, definitely done. Right now, I'm done. That's it. Good luck, brew tank. You guys wish me luck tomorrow. Don't wish Charles luck. He doesn't need it. Wish me luck, and we'll see you guys later. So get out of here. You ain't got to go home, but you got to go have fun wherever you're going. But you can't stay here. See you later.